This is music, and this is Ireland Unleashed. Welcome to another First Impressions video. In these videos, I normally share with you my first impressions of the many blind buys I've picked up lately. However, this is another VCLT follow-up video. You see, the mighty Metal Marty Mac and myself, we've been throwing VCLTs at each other just like politicians slinging mud at one another. And he sent me a really cool VCLT earlier this year, and I've now had the time to listen to everything in it. And I'm going to share with you my first impressions of all the cool stuff in that VCLT. Check out the channel Metal Marty Mac. It's a vinyl community channel. So he shows vinyl, cassettes, and CDs, and pretty much all things metal, hard rock, heavy metal, thrash metal, speed metal, death metal, doom metal, you name it. He also runs a channel with two mates of his called Marty and the Pillow Talkers, where they talk about movies they like and the movies they don't like. And that's a great channel too. So go and check out those two channels. Now, before diving into the cool things he sent me, I just want to show you this one because if Marty doesn't already have this one, I'm pretty sure this will be right up his alley. It's Crash Bang Wallop. A new wave of Lowlands heavy metal 1979 to 1984. So yeah, this is a compilation of early 80s heavy metal from the Netherlands and from Flandern in Belgium. And you got bands like Acid and Picture and Crossfire and Gilgamesh and other really cool early 80s heavy metal bands. Great stuff. A compilation with two discs. Absolutely fantastic. I'm sure Marty will like it if he doesn't already have a copy of it. Anyways, let's get down to business. Starting with a handful of cassette tapes that he sent me. Damn Yankees, Don't Tread. Now, Ted Nugent is in this band or project or whatever it is, and I am not a fan of Ted Nugent as a musician. But this one was actually pretty decent. It's a mix of melodic hard rock and pop rock, I would say, and you know, classic rock too, and some AOR. You do have some pretty good riffs on here and some pretty decent guitar work. Credit where it's due for sure. The standout dimension though, that would be the vocals. They are absolutely great. Um, there's only one song that really stands out to me, and that's the opening track, Don't Tread on Me, because that's how they sing it. Um, but overall, yeah, this was pretty enjoyable, actually. So there you go. Up next, this one here, I already have a copy of this on CD, so I already knew it. Poison, Native Tongue. This might be my favorite Poison album, along with Flesh and Blood. The guitar work is more blues oriented on this one because you got Richie Kotzen, I believe, playing the guitar. And it's actually really good. Some of the songs are quite heavy for Poison songs, but you still have a lot of cheesy, fun, glam songs too. Bret Michaels' vocals are great on this one. Uh, on this one and on Flesh and Blood, his vocals are actually really, really good. I think on a lot of the other Poison albums I've heard, his vocals are kind of weak. But this is a great Poison album. Might be my favorite along with Flesh and Blood. And it's really cool to have on cassette tape. Up next, you got this one here. Tear of Thought, maybe Tear of Thought by the Screaming Jets. I would categorize this as some kind of a classic rock with elements of hard rock. You even got like punk rock elements in some of the songs, and you got a bit of heavy metal in some of the songs too. Got some boogie rock in some of the songs. There are a lot of things going on actually in this one. It's an absolutely fantastic album, I think. I really enjoyed listening to this. Both the genuinely awesome songs and also some of the more cheesy songs. It was all good. It was all fun. The two standout tracks to me are uh, Here I Go and Living in England, both of which are kind of heavy metal songs. Living in England even sounds like a new wave of a British heavy metal song. That one is absolutely fantastic. So this is a great rock album. I actually listened to this while I was at work in my office, and it made my work day a lot better. So that was awesome. And I also gave this one a listen while I was at work. This is Steve Stevens' Atomic Playboy. In a way, it's kind of similar to the Screaming Jets. Like it's like 80s rock, classic rock with a lot of hard rock elements in this one. Some AOR elements too, and a little bit of cheese every now and then, but it's another absolutely fantastic album. You got like a handful of quite heavy songs on here, and they are really, really, really good. And then you got some more pop oriented stuff, and that's actually okay too. So this one is great as well. Steve Stevens, Atomic Playboy. I really enjoyed listening to that one. Turning to the CDs he sent me, starting with this one here. This is Return of the Heralds by Krillin. Swedish, I believe, power metal. Now, I'm not a big fan of modern European power metal because I think it's too wimpy, if I'm being honest. Uh, and this one has a little bit of that kind of modern power metal cheese, but I actually found myself enjoying this quite a lot because there's a little bit more energy to the songs, and I think the vocals are actually great. They're actually powerful. They're in that same kind of higher register, but there's just more power to his vocals. They don't sound that wimpy, and there are also like some elements of like speed metal inspiration here, some elements of early Blind Guardian inspiration, and also some elements of modern Iron Maiden inspiration, which I find to be quite interesting. So yeah, this is actually a pretty good power metal album in my opinion. I enjoyed it for sure. Up next, we get this one here, uh, Throwing Copper by Live. Uh, they had a huge hit back in the 90s, selling the drama. And when I listened to this, because I thought I know this because they were such a big name back then, so I've heard everything on this. I realized that the only song I actually knew was Selling the Drama, and I think maybe one other song. So it's actually quite interesting to hear all the songs that never became hits, or at least never became big hits. So it's fairly typical 90s rock, but there are some kind of interesting, quirky elements going on. There's a little bit of experimentation in some of the songs, which I actually found to be interesting. And I also expected the vocals to just be yarling all the way through, but it doesn't really yarl that much. So it was actually a pretty interesting listen. Um, and also to hear how different uh, all the other songs are on this album from that one hit they had. So yeah, it's pretty interesting for sure. Up next, we got some Irish blackened death metal. I would say it says Temer, but as far as I understand, it's Shower, and this is Worlds Ablaze. So on this one here, kind of the key or core sound to me, it's kind of old school death metal. The production has a bit of a do-it-yourself vibe to it, which is cool. Um, it has that compact sound that I associate with 90s death metal, maybe a little bit Morris Sound-esque, I think. The vocals are, for the most part, guttural death growls, but you do have a lot of black metal elements popping up too, and it actually works really well, this blend of these two styles. And what I really dig about this one is that on top of that, it's actually quite thrashy, which I appreciate. You got some kind of more atmospheric instrumental sections too, and some kind of disturbing passages as well, which is obviously on purpose. So this is a great um, blackened death metal with thrash elements album. Really, really good stuff. This is definitely an extreme metal artist that Ireland can be proud of. So there you go. Awesome stuff. And the last CD is this one here. I do have the Digipack stored safely somewhere else. It looks like this. But this is Wind Rose uh, Warfront. And this is also power metal. But this is very different from your typical European cheesy, wimpy power metal. Musically, it's a little bit more mid-paced. In places, the guitar tone is quite heavy. You do have some fast, early speed power metal inspired parts too. And the vocals are more like baritone vocals. I mean, it sounds like this guy is singing, and you got like elaborate vocal harmonies. So sometimes it's like a choir of warrior dwarfs from I don't know Tolkien's universe singing. So this is actually really good. I really enjoyed it. It has some obviously a lot of epic elements, a little bit of a touch of folk metal every now and then, but not too much. A little bit of a touch of I would say symphonic metal, but not too much. So I actually enjoyed this one quite a lot. This is actually really good. If you want to hear some European power metal that's different, this is worth checking out. I got a lot of, yeah, I would say a lot of early um, Blind Guardian vibes from this. It's not like a copycat or anything like that, but just that kind of approach and energy, if you know what I mean. So awesome stuff. I actually quite liked that. And then he sent me two really awesome vinyl as well, starting with this one here, Churches Without Saints by Disaster. So thrash metal, blackened thrash. And this is quite interesting because in some ways it's kind of primitive thrash metal. The production is not lo-fi, but it's definitely not polished either. And in other places, though, it's quite elaborate. You've got kind of like layers of tremolo picking on top of each other, and some riffs that you would not expect on an album that otherwise sounds kind of rough and primitive. You have a lot of, I would say, straight up second wave black metal stuff on here too, mixed in with, I would say, this is inspired by early German thrash metal. There's no doubt about that, and it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Awesome thrash metal. And up last, more thrash metal, but a quite different style of of thrash metal. Not black metal, because you don't really have any black metal on here. This is Evil, Hell Unleashed. So this is production-wise modern thrash. Musically, it actually has quite a lot of old school uh, thrash going on, as well as more modern sounding thrash. The vocals are kind of shouty, and these guys are great musicians. It's super tight. You got some great guitar solos, a lot of really fast songs with sometimes more complex riffs and sometimes more straightforward riffs. And from beginning to end, this is just a great thrash metal album. Really enjoyable. So there you go. Marty definitely sent me some awesome stuff yet again, and I enjoyed all of it. But as usual, go and check these out on your own, and go and check out Metal Marty Mac and Marty and the Pillow Talkers. Thanks for watching.